Craig here from Your Tech. Today we have another keyboard from Epomaker. They have sent over the TH108 mechanical keyboard. This is a full-size keyboard with linear switches, and I'm going to unbox it, I'm going to see how it performs, and I'm going to let you guys know whether or not this is worth the price. Before we start talking about the keyboard though, I've got to get it unboxed. The keyboard, oh my god. We have a giant instruction manual, that is huge. And we have our hidden accessory thing. We have got a really nice braided USB-A to USB-C cable, switch and keycap puller, 2 extra switches. Let's try them out. Now, I believe these are the creamy jade linear switches. Very consistent feeling, very smooth, very nice. You get 2 different options with this keyboard. You can either have the black one or you can have the blue and white one. And you get the choice with either to have creamy jade switches or sea salt silent switches. Both are linear, but I would guess the sea salt ones are just a little bit quieter. Lovely braided cable here. Let's see how long it is. Yeah, not bad. 1.5-ish. Really good quality cable. Now the keyboard. Before I unwrap this keyboard, I just want to say I forgot how big full-size keyboards were. I've been using an 85% one for a while now, and this is my first time reviewing a full-size keyboard. This thing looks massive. Ooh, that is a stunningly nice looking keyboard. So we've got dark grey moving up to light grey across the keycaps, so you get this nice gradient across the front of the keyboard. I really like that. All of the markings for the keys are on the side rather than on the top, so you get this really nice clean look from above. Hopefully the markings and the signs for each key are opaque so that the RGB shines through, and that would look amazing. We've got a switch on the back to change it between Mac and Windows. And we have a switch here for Bluetooth, USB or 2.4 gigahertz, because this does have tri-mode connection. It's an all plastic body. However, the plastic is thick and it seems very, very rigid. The thing weighs a ton. I'm gonna try and do the flex test. Oh, there's a lot more deck flex in that than what I was expecting. I don't know how well you'll see it on camera. Got 1000 hertz polling rate, 20 different RGB effects, but the most disappointing part, I don't think this is QMK and VIA compatible, which is a real shame because there's RGB under each key. It would have been nice to be able to customize that a little bit and have macro keys. You've got 4 extra buttons in the top right hand corner above the number pad, which is calculator, mute, volume down and volume up. But I would rather have had them have like different symbols on and they be customizable. That would have been nice. Let's test the sound. That sounds so nice. That's a really nice sounding keyboard. Stabilization on the keys is fantastic. Gonna go through the specs. So, as I've already mentioned, tri-mode connection, Windows and Mac compatible, 1000 hertz polling rate, with wired or 2.4 gigahertz. Bluetooth is a lot lower at like 125 hertz. It's got per key RGB, but it is not customizable. It has 20 RGB effects that you can use. Creamy jade linear switches. It is hot swappable, which we'll test out in a minute. It's got south facing icons, south facing RGB, all plastic body, an 8000 milliamp hour battery for Bluetooth and wireless. Obviously you can use it wired if you're not bothered about that. Boasts quite low latency, boasts 2 milliseconds wired, 5 milliseconds 2.4 gigahertz, and like 100 or 1000 milliseconds with Bluetooth or some crap like that. How accurate them numbers are, I don't know. We have height adjustable feet, 2 levels of height adjustability, technically 3 because you can have them flat. Your little wireless 2.4 gigahertz dongle is underneath the left hand side foot. 3 angles of height for typing on. 5 layers of sound dampening, which is basically become standard across these custom type keyboards, even though they're not custom. Bit of bounce back on the board, but nothing major. Feels really nice to type on. Really nice. consistent feeling switches across the board. I'm quite impressed with this. This is a really nice keyboard. So let's remove a keycap and remove a switch. See how easy it is. Well, that was easy. Oh, that come up dead easy. Sounds exactly the same as the two spare switches that we got. And then I should be able to just, yep, push that back into place and push the double shot keycaps back into place as well. So all we got to do now is get this behemoth of a keyboard plugged in, tested. Let's see what the RGB looks like. Let's see what it looks like when it's plugged in and how nice it is and how accurate it is to type on. There isn't any customizable software or anything with it from what I can tell. Let's get it plugged in, discuss whether or not this is worth the price. Because let's be honest, that's what it always comes down to. Is it worth the money? I am back. First things first, the RGB looks incredible. It really does. It's very smooth, it's very bright. The only thing I do wish is that the symbols that are printed on the side that are slightly opaque, if you could see the light through them just a little bit more, it'd be perfect. But it's still very good. The lighting in the RGB still looks fantastic. The keyboard itself is a dead smooth and nice typing experience. It makes you want to type. It sounds nice. The keystrokes are lovely. It looks impressive. But I have something else has happened as well though. None of the documentation mentions it being a customizable keyboard in any way, shape or form, but Epomaker has what they call a driver on their website for this keyboard. I've downloaded it and installed it, the Epomaker U-Gear software, which is a customization software so that you can customize your RGB on a per key basis. You can set up macros, you can change the effects of whatever buttons you want on the keyboard, and there's quite a lot of customization in the software. I find it very weird that they haven't pushed that in the marketing, because almost everybody wants to be able to customize their keyboard, or at least have the option to, and even if you don't, it's a nice to have just in case you come across something and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that with one press of the button. Well, you can. They just don't tell you that you can, which I find a little bit weird. But the software is there. Now, as much as it's a nice to have that customization, the software is not great at all. It's not the most responsive. It's not entirely obvious when you've selected a key, if you want to change it, if you've selected the right key or not. It doesn't highlight it properly to say, oh, you have now got highlighted WASD, or you have now highlighted enter spacebar escape. It doesn't make it obvious that you have selected the keys you've selected, but it does work. It's not the best, but it does work. The lighting part of the software as well isn't very accurate when it comes to the colors. I've got this set up to be WASD in white and the rest of the keyboard in green, and I'll show you some B-roll footage and you'll see the white looks pink, but it's set to white in the software. So I don't know. I would probably stick to using the built-in RGB effects that are on it because they actually look really nice. Once you get into the software, it kind of falls apart a little bit. So that's the downside. However, there is one more thing to talk about with this keyboard. The price, and that is the most important part of almost any keyboard review really. This keyboard is currently on sale for $88.99, which is equivalent to about £66. 66 great British quids. I'll be honest, is probably the best value keyboard I've ever used. It's full size, it looks incredible. It really is a nice looking keyboard. It's customizable, which we didn't know. 1000 Hertz polling rate, which is to be expected. It sounds lovely, it feels lovely to type on. You've got 2.4 gigahertz, Bluetooth, wired. I think this is the best value keyboard that I've used so far, other than the £23 or whatever it was TeamU keyboard. I'll put a pin up for that video. Like, that's actually the best value keyboard, but this is a close second. £66 or $89 for this amount of keyboard. I'm actually really impressed. Well done, Epomaker. Like, I'd have preferred to see VIA software rather than this U-Gear software, which isn't very polished and isn't very good. But even with that, that's a lot of keyboard, and that's a very cheap price. Like, under $100, under 70 quid, full size, really nice linear switches. well done Epomaker. Great keyboard. If you like this video and you'd like to watch another, please feel free to watch one of these 2 videos. If you would like to purchase any review samples from the channel, join our Discord, link in the bio, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you know when we have released a new video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye! Bit about